I get this biograph, or biography, you know,
Yeah.
for the district governor. This is, single space, da-da-da-da, and I think there should be 3 more pages of it, that's it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kind of critique it, because you know how I am. You know how I am. I'm between the lines.
Yes.
So I'm gonna just kind of tell you what I know. Bruce Mackey graduated in 1966 from Hanford. I swear to God, he was older than me. I thought he was. He's not, but I can guarantee you he's more mature than I am. So anyway, he went off into the service and got in the Army. Air Force and War problem. Yeah, spent a few years there. He retires as Lieutenant Colonel, so it's a yes sir, no sir. And thank you for your service, sir.
Yes,
It was an honor to serve.
And he's still serving. So he went on from there, and he spent, 7 years in Nevada, riding his bicycle all over town. He was with the Bicycle and Pedestrian Safety,
Yep.
Nevada State. Can you believe that?
Yep.
I mean, the
Getting
place-
paid to ride my bicycle.
Yeah, you go in there, you make money, you get run over going away from the slot machine.
Yeah.
So anyway, and that may be a thing of the future, the bicycle may be coming back into vogue. He still rides.
Well, the gas is going
Yeah,
down.
but anyway, he came back to Hanford, and his parents are there, and we all know how that works out. And so in 2010, he got into Hanford Rotary, and he's been a ball of fire since. He's kind of one of those guys, he's been there, done that all. He got involved with just about anything and everything there was to do with the Rotary, internationally and locally, and Paul Harris and all the other things like that. We all got into Rotary for whatever reason we got into, and sometimes we just kind of lose our way. But I think this gentleman right here kind of spur you on to where you had come, where you were going when you came in. And I think he's got a lot to say, and I think we should listen to him. Mr. Mackey.
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you very much for inviting me. I very much appreciate it. This is the fun part of the job. There's a lot of late nights and stupid emails and things like that. This is the fun part of the job, is coming down and talking to you all and seeing you. It's also the most humbling part of the job, because I come to a club, I don't know what they do, I kind of think that, well, they're doing something down there, and I get a list like Cheryl's given me, and I'm just in awe of everything that you do, and the hard work, and how you hardly even missed a beat during COVID, and it's just incredible. So I want to start out by thanking you for everything you've done so far. That's from the bottom of my heart. And if I am here to serve you, not vice versa, I get paid this huge salary, Rotary wages. I don't get paid anything. But and I became district governor to serve you, and that's it. So this is District 5230. I didn't know we had a number till a few years ago. And somebody said, "What district are you with?" And I went, "Well, I don't know. We're the Hanford." No, that's wrong. Or district, which I think is District 5230. So I've said we're from the Sierra to the sea. Okay, we go from Porterville all the way to Monterey. And unfortunately, as part of my duties, Linda and I have to go over to Monterey sometime. Spend time in Monterey.
Such a duty.
It's tough,
That's a tough duty.
Glad to get back to Hanford, Tulare, Parlier. But little bit of background. As JT was saying, I was an infantry officer for 25 years. It was quite an honor to serve. 2 combat tours, one in Vietnam and one in the Gulf. I was a bicycle advocate, so yes, in fact, I was a professional bicyclist for 7 years in Nevada, got paid. I joined Rotary in Carson City, and then moved back to Hanford to care for her mother and my parents, who, and they've all passed away subsequently. I was president, which was one of the highlights of my life, president of Rotary, lots of fun.
Yay, pets.
Yay. Yeah, I was AG twice, assistant governor twice, great job. He has it now, and he's doing a very good job being the AG. This is a picture of myself and my wife. One year I've ridden the Ride to End Polio in Tucson in November 3 times. We rode it together once. The year it rained, the only year it rained in 38 years, the last time Linda will ever ride, Yeah, and she has a smile that was taken before the ride. I'm a major donor. I'm a member of the Paul Harris Society and the Bequest Society. If you don't know what that means, please talk to your foundation chair. If he doesn't have a good answer for you, call me. I'm in the book. And there's nothing I like to talk more than Rotary. I've been married 50 years to Linda. We celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary a couple months ago. We have 3 children and 9 grandchildren. So, that's me. This is Shekhar Mehta. He is a good guy. I'll tell you that right now. He's from India. He is the Rotary International President. We have one of these per year. And this poor guy, unfortunately, one of his claims to fame is next year Rotary International will have its first woman president, Jennifer Jones, and she's a fireball. So he gets to be the guy that was before Jennifer Jones. He's been a Rotarian for a long time, since '84. He's won almost every award that Rotary can give out. He is a major donor. He's very, very active. And I talked to him last week. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is. We were on a Zoom session with about 30 other district governors, you know, and I was able to say, hey, Shekhar, I've got a question about this, or did you really mean that? Or, you know, he is, when I had a graduation party on Zoom, he showed up. Hey, Bruce, glad to see you graduated. You're going to be district governor. You got any questions? What can I do for you? So he is a very, very good guy. He has a vision. First part of his vision is action plans. We have on our district webpage an action plan. What is it? What do we want to do? How are we going to do it? Who's going to do it? And when's it going to get done? That's an action plan, in short. He's got areas of focus, areas that he wants us to focus on. I'm not going to go into those right now, but they make a lot of sense. He loves to have partnerships. If Rotary, and you know, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir here, because I'm talking to you about projects that you're going to do, and you're already doing them. And you're already doing partnerships with the city, with other organizations. You know, so you guys, you folks are in fact masters of this. You know, he loves partnerships. He loves for us to work with city government, other organizations, other service clubs, things like that. He's a real technology guy, you know. And when we do our meetings with him, it will be, this one is simulcast in Japanese. And this one is simulcast in Spanish. And this one is simulcast in French. And he's very, very good at technology. And he has a theme. Now, Rotary themes, annual president's themes, are more secret than the invasion plans for some countries. They're just, and I kept trying to, what's our theme? What's our theme? Nope, couldn't find out. Finally, when he announced his theme, I was just like, oh, this is great. I could sign up to this. This is our theme for this year. Serve to change lives. Why do I like it? Simple. First of all, the emphasis is on service. Service above self. That's what when you go out there and do things, you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for your community. Okay? So the emphasis is on service. It's a worldwide effort. And a lot of clubs, when I go to the club and I say it's a worldwide effort, they all go, well, I don't want to do anything. The world starts right out there. Okay? It doesn't mean you got to go to West Yuccapuck to do a project to probably get them something that they don't want or don't need. You can do it right out here. The same projects that you've been doing. And I really think that's the greatest. Okay? It is a worldwide effort. Shows diversity. See that globe? It's divided into all kinds of colors. If your club does not look like the leadership of your community, ask yourself why. Because there's leaders out there that should probably be a part of this. No, how am I doing? Good?
No.
I don't know. Well, I was going to ask you.
Don't check with me, that's your audience.
Yeah, she's heard this before. This also shows diversity, not only racial diversity, but every kind of diversity, political diversity, sexual diversity. You know, if somebody comes into this club and they don't feel welcome and recognized and comfortable, then that's wrong, because that's not Rotary. Rotary is where we all come together. And you know, I had an incident about 5 years ago where when I was president, about 5 years ago, when I was president, and I was meeting with a young lady who was the investigator for the DA, and she's a very dynamic young lady, and so I said, you know, you really ought to join Rotary. And she said, well, I can't join Rotary. And I said, well, why? And she said, well, I'm gay. And I said, no, we just lost our gay members, so you can come in the other slot for you. I had to tell her, yeah, you can be gay and be in Rotary. You can even be Democrat. That's a joke for my club, okay? Okay, so we show diversity. If your club doesn't look like the leadership of your community, and I'm saying not like your community, like the leadership of your community, ask yourself why. That hand underneath that globe is your hand. It's not just some hand that somebody's drawn there. This is a personal commitment that you have made, and you know this. You've made, you know, when you get up to do your projects, you know you've made a personal commitment. There's no more personal commitment than you can make than going out there and doing Rotary projects. And it gives a why. It gives a why of what we do. He had some goals, and I thought they were great. He wants 2 clubs per district, 2 more clubs. We've lost 2 clubs this year due to COVID. I thought we'd lose 5 or 6. There's some clubs that went into total hibernation when COVID started. But we, in fact, lost 2, Aubrey Intermountain and Parlier. And that's, I'm sorry, but I reinforce success. One of the things I learned in the military is you reinforce success. This is a successful club. All I have to do is take a look at the laundry list of things that you've done and that you do every single year, and I want you to succeed more. I'm here to support you. Well, I don't know if I want to be in Rotary, and I don't, okay. I'm not trying to talk you into it, you know, because it's a calling. 2 more clubs per district, and that's easy. We've got some ace people out there working on clubs. He wants us to go from 1.2 to 1.3, 100,000 more members. All right, I think we can do that. He says, each one bring one. It is my belief that one of the best things that you can do for a friend, a relative, a neighbor, is to introduce them to Rotary and help them to make that part of their lives. How many of you here have had what you consider a Rotary moment? Anybody? Where you said to yourself, this thing that I'm doing is worthwhile. Okay? Okay. I've had many Rotary moments. I've had them in Hanford, and I've had them in Guatemala. I've had them all over the place, because a Rotary moment is where you say, this is worth it. This is actually giving my life meaning. Look, I've lived a life of service. I was raised around the world. My father was in the Army. You know, as soon as I could get into the Army, you know, I served in the military. You know, I got out and served bicycle stuff because I love bicycle stuff. And now I'm doing this. You know, I love being of service. It gives my life meaning. I don't want to quit till I'm used up, and I'm not used up yet. So, each one bring one. If you have somebody that you think would benefit from being a Rotarian, bring them in. You know, give them a try. And take care of them if they decide to join. Rob, if you decide to join, you know, you'll have a sponsor, and that sponsor should take care of you and explain things to you, because Rotary can be a whole different language sometimes. And so it's, but the other thing is, get involved right away. Say, yes, I'll work on that, and yes, I'll do that. And yeah, it's more, but you want a job done, give it to a busy person. Rotaract is the future. It used to be Interact, Rotaract, and Rotary. Now, Rotaract, which is our young people's club, they are part of Rotary, and they are Rotary members. And they are growing by leaps and bounds, while Rotary is declining. And it's the young people. We need to get the young people in there. And every time I say that, this little voice in the back of my head says, don't forget the people that have made this club what it is today, right? Don't forget them. You know, when they shuffle off to a nursing home, go see them. Go let them know that they're still part of the Rotary family and that you still care about them, because it is a family. And they put their heart and their sweat and their tears and their blood into making this club what it is today. Don't just ignore them once they go away. Okay, and the last thing he said was kind of strange. He said, help girls. Okay. And then he explained, he's from India. In a lot of poverty, and we've lived in some very, very poor countries, Yemen being probably the poorest. And when you live in a country like this, and you get down to the poor people in a poor country, girls are at the bottom of the list. I mean, they are the ones that they're disposable. And so he wants us to make a major effort to help girls, to help them and lift them up. Okay, this is the coming year. We're about 2 months into my year. Started in June or July, so we're about 2 months in. What do we got? Leadership. I'm a great believer in leadership. You've got a great leader. You've got a great assistant governor. We've got great, the DG line is the district governor line. We have a great district governor line. One of the things that we are all trying to do, all of our folks in this line trying to do, is have consistency, so that programs under Joy are programs under me, will be programs under Becky, who will follow me, will be programs under Debbie, who will follow her. So that clubs like this don't get jerked around from district governor to district governor. We've got some nice continuity there. Chairs, I've got some great chairs. Chair people, I've got people in charge of foundation. They're right over the hill. My foundation chair is over in King City. If you got a question on the foundation, call him. Get in touch with him. Joe, he doesn't have anything. Get your assistant governor to call him. Those guys, they'll stay on the phone telling stories to each other for, hours. I know that's what I do with Joe. He's a former sheriff. He's also a $1 million donor to Rotary. So, and if you ever want to hear an interesting story, ask him, well, how did you give $1 million to Rotary? Because he didn't give $1 million to Rotary, but he did. Just ask him the story. Okay, as I said, great assistant governors. Okay, and you can't be better than Jimmy Tuttle. Can't be better. Finally, presidents. We got some great presidents. Support them. And finally, leadership. Where does leadership start? You. You're all leaders. Well, I'm just a follower. No, you're not. You're a leader. You wouldn't be in this room if you weren't a leader. So I want to thank you not only for everything that you've done, but for your leadership, for stepping up and saying, yes, I will. Yes. What have we done so far? Who are those folks?
They're a brewery.
Here, that's a very typical picture. Okay, well, we have an action plan, as I mentioned, and it's on our website. We've got some additions to the policy manual. This is the highlight of my presentation, is the addition to the policy manuals, okay? Well, what are they? All right, well, we've got one on crisis management. Last year it became evident we need a crisis management plan. What if we have more fires? What if we have a flood? What if we have something horrible that happened? Well, thank God it hasn't happened in our district, but I'll talk to you later about another district just north of us where it did. We've got a harassment policy which deals with all types of harassment, but also sexual harassment. Sexual harassment has no place in Rotary. End of message. That's it. No place. And if somebody feels like they've been sexually harassed, they need to read that and report it, because there's no place for it. Privacy. You give us a lot of your personal information, and we need to safeguard it. In our privacy, a part of our policy manual says this is how we're doing it. And finally, diversity, equity, and inclusion. As I said, if this club doesn't look like the leadership of your community, why not? Let's get out there and let's bring in folks so that it does look that way. I'm trying to get a Rotary business directory so that we can, so if a business wanted to say, look, please list me online, you could go online and look up and see Rotary businesses in your community and deal with them. but also it costs the business about $100 to do that. And we'll take the proceeds from that and we will do trade school scholarships. Because let me tell you, it costs, how much does it cost to become a mechanic, certified mechanic these days, Rob?
It's kind of hard to say. I'll say,
Goes up every
yeah.
Yeah?
Like if I do my updates between 500, 1500,
Yep,
just for the updates.
Just for
which
the
is
updates.
But if you want the whole career, you're looking around 3 years. So more or less about 5,000 per semester. So yeah, 5,000, about 30,000.
yeah,
Just, you know, you gotta have 30,000 in reality
yeah,
just to get into the program, to get
Yeah.
the wheels turning.
yeah. Now, you wonder why we don't have good mechanics like Rob? You know, who's got $30,000 sitting in their back pocket?
You know, well, you're not talking
Then
about
they
the
cook your
tools.
shop.
You're not talking about the
Huh?
equipment.
What's your name?
Small alone.
But small-
Martin.
Martine,
yeah.
okay. So are you guys competitors?
We're good neighbors.
You're good neighbors?
Good neighbor.
We do.
Okay.
We have a community.
Good, good, yeah.
That's what.
We got an accountant. We haven't had an accountant prior to this, and what happened is at the end of every Rotary year, we had this huge crisis because we were going from one treasurer to another, and it was panic in the streets, and people are killing themselves and running around. Now we have an accountant, and she goes, yep, okay, yep, okay, yep, okay. And she tells you what you should be keeping your records on and the whole 9 yards. Okay, I've done some surveys. There's a survey in the current Rotary, in the current district newsletter. And while I mention the district newsletter, I would ask for your prayers for Mike Daniels. He's the newsletter editor. Mark Daniels. He's a newsletter editor, and he's currently in the hospital, and he's going to be operated on for some blockages. He's a great individual and a great Rotarian and a very close personal friend. And Rotary is a family. He put out a great newsletter. There's a survey in there about rebranding. And finally, website. We were kind of going back and forth, and the website was being run by somebody that, well, if he didn't like you today, nothing got done. And, you know, so I said, okay, we'll spend a lot of money, and we'll get it done by some professional. So that, and the professionals running this website now, it really looks good, and it's squared away. So, my priorities, all right, that's, again, me. I love pictures of me. Okay, coordinate with the DG line, I mentioned that. My theme kind of ties into the theme of our president, which is cherish family. I believe that Rotary is a family. I believe we have 3 families. We have our immediate, we have our immediate or adoptive family. We have the family of Rotary, and we have the family of all humankind. And we need to cherish that. And I think the best way we can do that is by being in Rotary and participating. What other organization brings so many tools and so much expertise to doing good in the world? If you name it, I'll go join it. But I can't think of another organization that does it. I don't want to be as good as it was. I want to be better than it was. I want to be better than before COVID. I want new clubs, I mentioned that. Let's talk about the foundation for a second. Okay, the Rotary Foundation is the primary charity for Rotary. It's got about as high a rating as you can get from anybody. 4 stars from Charity Navigator, A+ from Charity Watch. 91% of the funds are spent on programs and operations. So that money comes in the back, comes in the front door, and goes out the back door. If you give $1 to Polio Plus, it's $3. You're contributing $3. And I've got some milk bottles in my club, or in my truck. If you want, I'll give you some clear milk bottles. You can put them on the table. All you have to do is say, hey, remember Rotary, remember Polio Plus, and just throw some extra change in there. My club normally manages to get about $2,000 to $3,000 a year just on the milk bottles and spare change. And that's, you know, that's $6,000 to $9,000 when you add the Gates stuff in. Contribution to the annual fund. Now, if you don't want to give to Polio Plus, you give to the annual fund. That money comes back after 3 years. About half of it, a little less than half of it, goes out and does not come back. About 47.5% comes back to the district, and that's where we get grants, and your grant has been approved. Your grant has been approved. And 5% goes to operating expenses. I can't think of a better foundation. That's why I support the Rotary Foundation. If you've got any kind of money that you wanna donate, and if it's big money, we have people that will tell you how to do that. They'll come down and work it out. They're used to handling millions of dollars of donations, and they're really, really skilled at it. My priorities, okay? I want to collaborate with all of you. I want to get out and see and ask you and talk to you about what's going on and what we need to do and how I can support you. And I get big questions. What are we going to do about sexual harassment? And I need the IRS form for my club. Not a problem. That's why I'm here. Big questions, little questions. There's no question beneath me. There's a lot of questions that I might duck or pass on to somebody else, okay? And I want to support you. I want to support you. I'm 71 years, 72. She always catches me. I can't remember how old I am.
Going on 73.
I've been in a lot of nasty places, doing a lot of nasty things, and I didn't take this job so I could be miserable. I took this job so I could have fun. The best part of this job is coming out here and seeing you. Every time I do, it recharges me, because I look at all the things this club is doing. That's amazing. It's also the most humbling thing. Wow, look at all the things this club is doing, and I didn't have anything to do with any of them. So, I want to have fun. Okay, I don't know how many of you have heard about this, but this is a Rotary Club of Greenville. Okay, the whole town was devastated. There's a GoFundMe page, Greenville Strong. There are clubs that are sending in their donations either to the GoFundMe page or to John Banks, who's the president of the Rotary Club of Greenville. I can get you his address if you need it. It's going up on our website. It's going through all kinds of our social media, and that's his phone number. When I sent an email to him, and he came right back to me, and he said, "Here's all my information. If anybody's got a question, have him call me." But this is a fellow. He lost his home, and a lot of other members in Greenville lost their home. And that's actually from the Rotary Club of Greenville in one of their support events that they were doing. Okay, what are we doing this year? Visits are in person. Here I am. We have a board of directors, so we have 3 people appointed from each area, and they come in. I've divided this district up into 3 areas. Number 1, Monterey County. Number 2, Fresno County. And number 3, Kingston Tulare County. So we have 3 representatives from each one of those areas that are sitting on the board of directors, and I coordinate with them on a monthly basis. We have a great program going on, and we put it out through the district newsletter. I urge you to read the district newsletter. At least last issue was 25 pages, but small book. But I just wrote like crazy. Okay, we're going to have 3 area and spring service projects. So we're going to have one here for Tulare County, or Kingston Tulare County, where we're going to go over to Woodlake, and there's an assisted dog facility over there that's run by a Rotary president, Katie. She's a great president, and she they need help. They train dogs. They're service dogs. A lot of them are for veterans. A lot of them are for people that are disabled in other ways. But every 1 or 2 years, they really need to kind of refurbish the place. And so I'll let you know when that's going to be. We're all going to go there. We're going to work like crazy. Nina Clancy is going to be in charge of it. I don't know if you know her, but she's a past district governor. She's a PIP. And we're going to do, we're going to work hard, then we're going to have a barbecue. We're going to slap each other on the back and tell each other how great we are. Typical Rotary event. And there may even be a prize in there for it, for each and every one of you. So, and then we're going to go home. Take lots of pictures, publicize it. The Fresno group, and you're welcome to go to Fresno if you want. They've got a homeless project that they're gonna be going and doing. And the Monterey group are gonna be doing butterfly habitats at Laguna Seca. You know, so if you've never been to Laguna Seca, good chance to get over there. Let me warn you, the hotel prices over there are killer. So, you know, you might as well stay in Fresno if you're gonna go. But, and then we're gonna have spring projects in Monterey. It'll probably be a Model UN for the kids. We don't have anything for Kings and Tulare County yet, and we don't have anything for Fresno County yet. The district conference is the 30th of April. And I've promised that there will be no educational programs during the district conference. I want us to have fun. It's gonna be at the Tachi Palace. And I want us to have fun. So if you can attend, I would appreciate it if you do. Okay, what are my challenges? Wrap it up. Okay, challenges are COVID. It won't go away. Somebody stop COVID. I'm tired of it. How many people are tired of COVID?
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah. Okay, it's always been that. We've always done it that way. No. If there's a better way, let's do it that way. Do you have a president-elect? President-elect?
She's got
Maria.
COVID.
She's not here.
Not here.
She's got
She's getting
at
COVID.
home because
Okay.
her son has COVID.
Okay,
Oh, her son does.
okay. So take that away. That's not one of my challenges for this club. Some clubs are still hibernating. They're pretty much gone away. And I don't have a lot of knowledge about the district. I talked to some other people and they go, oh yeah, old Sam up in there. I've been down here in Kings County. I don't know old Sam in Fresno or Monterey, but I'm learning and I'm trying to get attached to all these people. Okay, beyond, there's your next governor, Becky Mosier, and she is a fireball. Debbie Hale was your was a district grants coordinator, and she is really, really solid. Becky's out of Clovis, by the way, and Debbie's out of Salinas. We got that action plan. We have a speakers bureau. You ever wonder about, hey, we need a speaker for a meeting? Go to our website, look at the speakers bureau. We've got speakers listed. If you have a great speaker, put them on our speakers bureau, because we need to share the wealth on this stuff. And I mentioned the business directory. What are your questions? How'd I do? Okay. On time and under budget. Okay. Okay, what are your questions? Did I talk too fast?
Girl Scout cookies. I said, Girl Scout cookies.
Question?
No questions. I'm glad to have.
Just a minute. I got it. Calm down.
Okay, well, that's pretty good.
Now, that district meeting on April 30th, is it at the Clovis Rodeo Grounds?
The district conference is going to be at Tachi Palace.
It needs to move to the Clovis Rodeo Grounds. It's for the rodeo weekend.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's rodeo weekend.
Well, I'm sorry, but I had it originally scheduled for the following weekend, and everybody
Put
said,
it my own.
you know, that's the day before Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Most people like to go to the palace, so that's a good place to take them.
Yeah, there you go. So, come down with your horse.
There you go.
Okay, when I became district, as I said, my background is from the military. And when I became district governor, or was getting ready to become district governor, we have something in the military known as a challenge coin. And a challenge coin is something that is given to either distinguished visitors to the district or to members of the organization who have distinguished themselves through significant and continuous service, outstanding service to the organization. This is a challenge coin I had made. I mentioned the three families. This signifies your immediate family, the family of Rotary, and the family of humankind. It says cherish family, and it also has cherish family in Spanish, because I think we need to acknowledge the Hispanic component of our culture out here. On the back, of course, my name, because, you know, and the four-way test. I think any kind of moral dilemma you get into, the four-way test will help you out. and lead your way. So, Donna, would you come up here, please? Yes, ma'am. Would you please stand right here? Face your accusers.
All in favor, say aye.
The Avenal Rotary Club has a long history of service in our community. Because for years now, our club has had a small membership, we've encouraged Rotarian spouses to join us at all our meetings, events, and projects. As a wife of Ray Elliott, a longtime Rotarian, Donna was for many years a supporter and helper of Avenal Rotary. She could be counted on to supply meals for members and guests during many meetings. She hosted Christmas parties and other special occasions in her home. After Ray's passing, and I'm sorry for your loss, Donna joined the Avenal Rotary as a valuable, dependable member. Now she not only supplies special dishes for our meals, but the lovely plates and flatware we use on special occasions. She works on many Rotary projects such as our fish fry dinners and the hard work in uncomfortable weather necessary to distribute food for needy families. Donna truly embodies the meaning of service above self. Now these challenge coins are passed kind of surreptitiously and almost by secret, by shaking the hand of the person and saying, thank you very much for your service. That's all I've got.
I'm done.
Is that right? That's all. Okay.
Thank you, Bruce, for coming tonight. And thank you, Mrs. Mackey, for attending with me. Yes, Linda. You fit right in. We were truly honored to have you both here tonight.
It was our honor.
So, my husband has something that we like to present to our speakers and special guests.
Being in the military, you know, let me see your finger, put the finger out there.
Yeah, I can see there's a callus there.
You know, this is the old branding though.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. Yeah,
It drinks coffee.
yeah.
It pours holes.
You know, so there will be no fight in the family. Here's one for you too. It doesn't diminish yours any.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you.
And we'd also like to present you, Linda, with some pretty roses for your house.
How beautiful.
And
Thank
since
you.
it's so close on 50 years,
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
I think our district governor should take this home and grace your table.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
We are honored. Thank you.
You know, normally when we used to have our groups together and we had the anniversaries, we asked usually the member, which is the husband,
Yes. How
okay,
happy are
maybe
you?
30 years. So a
How many
dollar
happy
for
years
each
did you
good
have?
year that you had. And he always says 2 or 3. You ever notice that?
Yeah, he says we've
So
been
we're not
married.
gonna ask.
We're not gonna.
I also have some other people I wanted to thank tonight.
Yes.
Thank you, Carol, Harlan, Donna, Shauna, Laura, Paul, my daughter Shara for preparing foods for our meal tonight. Thank you so much. It was so good. And it takes our Rotary family to make a meal,
Yes.
doesn't it? To make one this good, it sure does. So thank you so much. Our next meeting is going to be August 17th at 5:30, which is next Tuesday, 5:30, our regular time at La Carreta, our regular place. And it's gonna be followed by a planning meeting for Pistachio Days at the theater, okay? And, so with that, we are adjourned. I said, Anthony, is that somebody? We called him, okay?
Yeah.